I'm going to surgically remove that conversation from my brain. Okay, so today we are talking about our own personal red flags. I'm not the biggest believer in term red flags in a lot of ways, but we'll get into that later. Do you have a red flag you would like to start with?
My first red flag would be if this person doesn't respect my space. If I tell this person that I want to spend some time alone, I want some time for myself, and this person goes, no, spend more time with me, then...
Is that more clingy or is that controlling?
Controlling and needy.
I think for most people, neediness is generally going to be one. Suffocating is maybe the word I would use, where it's just like you're not allowed to do anything apart from spend time with that person, which is, it's just never going to work long term anyway, because people need to have a life outside of one human being.
It would really be off-putting for me if they don't really have something that they like of their own and want to do. If you don't have your own set of hobbies.
Yeah, no hobbies, no interests.
Set of friends also for that matter. Like if you're just going to depend on my friends for the rest of the life, then that's definitely problematic to me.
I've got a slightly different list in terms of, I've gone for ones that are very personal. I basically tried to think of what would instantly turn me off of a human being. Someone who's obsessed with reality television. When you have someone who the number one thing that interests them in life is talking about what happened on reality television, it's just do something on your own.
The reality television is like MasterChef or something.
No. Everyone watching this knows what I mean. It's Love Island, it's The Only Way is Essex, or Geordie Shore, or Jersey Shore, or any of this kind of the Kardashian program. I remember once, I came back from a night out with a few friends of mine, I was crashing at their place, and they turned on the TV. I don't even know which reality TV show it was, but something where a bunch of imbeciles all making up drama to have with each other and sort of thing. I felt my brain cells being sucked out of my body just for being in the same room as it. It was genuinely appallingly mind-numbing. If you want to watch reality television, go ahead. Just don't expect me to like you. To be fair, the updated version of that would probably be like TikTok / whatever else. If you just sit there the whole day and all you do is just consume media.
What
that
if
is trashy media.
What if you're making those TikToks?
If you're making TikToks, it's a decent chance you're also watching TikToks, and like you have a kind of influence circle that's based on TikToks. Let's face it, a lot of the influencer types, and I'm saying this fully aware that I'm currently talking into a camera, they're utter pains in the arse. Right? They're just horrible, conceited, delusional, self-obsessed people.
There was a point when I used to do not TikTok videos, but then all these funny dialogues with my friends and all of that. I definitely used to do that.
I'm going to surgically remove that conversation from my brain.
It's the truth, and I don't want to deny it.
Okay, next one for me is going to be someone who's gossipy or two-faced. Because the thing is, if someone's like that, then what are they saying about me when I'm not in the room, right? There's an element of dishonesty and just being an unappealing person that comes with that. So that's definitely one for me, someone who loves talking about people behind their back.
One of the red flags for me would be if they don't have their own opinions about anything for that matter, like political issues, personal affairs. If they solely depend on others.
I think we can safely say this isn't a problem of mine. If I'm going to hit any of the red flags in Paaru's list, this is not going to be the one.
No. So one of the things I really like about Jack is that he has opinion for everything. That can be slightly annoying sometimes when you're not really looking for an opinion, but it's nice to know that he thinks. Non-opinionated men are they're boring to me, basically.
Well, it's apathy, right? Like if they're apathetic, if they just don't care about anything, then they're not interesting. If all you care about is money and cars and clothes and whatever, right? That's an incredibly shallow view on life. And it basically, first off, it's not going to work in terms of you can get as many material goods as you like. We know it doesn't make you happy in the end. We know it doesn't because we know all these incredibly rich people who aren't happy. It's just dull and tacky. It's just shallow and uninteresting. No sense of humor. And by that, I mean specifically, if I can't make any sort of joke, if I can't get any sort of read on what make this person laugh, I'm not going to want to be in a relationship with them because day to day, as you know, I like making people smile and enjoy themselves. In terms of someone you're going to be spending a lot of your time with in a relationship, I think it is important to have some sort of shared sense of humor.
Humor is definitely important in a relationship. Everything else sort of dies, but humor helps keep things live in some sense.
Yeah. And then
What?
Why does it suddenly feel like we're in some sort of meeting, some sort of town hall meeting? It's like, it's going to be live and such. Good. Yes. Okay.
Next question.
Next item on the agenda. And for the next one, we have emotionally manipulative. Anything where I can sort of get the feeling they're trying to manipulate me here is instantly going to make me feel quite bad about that person. Someone who's self-obsessed or a narcissist, again, it's kind of going along the lines of the same thing as superficial, which is if the only thing in life that matters is you, then I don't matter, which is a bad sign. Overly possessive, obvious one in terms of if someone's constantly just trying to control your life. Oh, you can't go and meet your friends, you got to do this with me. Booking 8,000 things in advance. They have to ask their partner's permission to do things. And it's like, I couldn't do that.
You know, like, people can also be forgetful.
There's a difference between I'll just check if we're not doing something, or like I have to make sure that's okay with them because they actually run my life.
It's funny, I come from a society where that's completely normal, where you're supposed to be asking permission from your parents, from your partner, from everyone before doing something. Doesn't work with me. Probably why I'm the black sheep in the family.
And then my last one, before we get into Paaru's ones, are essentially someone who never self-reflects, never takes responsibility, never thinks about their actions. But to be fair, on the same side, less of a bad starting point, but also not good, is someone who always blames himself. In terms of trying to really evaluate what things in life you could have done better, what's realistic expectation for yourself, because it's always easy to point out with hindsight, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that, but like, really, could you have known at the time? Did you have reasonable other options? All these kind of things. If someone thinks every one of their exes is an asshole, and you said they go, well, okay, there's two potential problems. One, you keep dating assholes, which is your fault. Or two, you are the asshole, which is your fault.
So the rest of mine are if they have a history of cheating. No.
Oh, why did I not mention that?
See, I am a firm believer that once a cheater, always a cheater. I've had this personal experience of dating a person whom I knew had a history of cheating, but I just thought it wouldn't happen to me. But it did. It did come to me as well. Yes.
If someone will cheat with you, they will cheat on you.
Yeah. One, I would never cheat on someone. Two, I would never entertain someone who is in a relationship. If they can do to them, they can do to you as well. If they're always busy and they don't have time for me, like, you know what? You can spend time with yourself then. I am leaving. I'm not taking that for an answer. Like, oh, I've been busy. Oh, you've been busy for 3 days? Go be busy for the rest of your life. If my mom senses there is something shady about this relationship, or not just that, like if my mom doesn't get a positive vibe from our relationship, if my friends don't get a positive vibe from our relationship, no. My mom has also met Jack. Surprisingly, she didn't really feel anything negative about him.
What do you mean surprisingly? Hold on, excuse me.
No, because she always feels that about all the people that I talk to her about.
I'm special.
She likes you. So that's definitely a good thing. So the next one for me is if they're not passionate about something, like in your case, you're passionate about music, you're passionate about the work that you do.
Even if you don't think the person's going to be interested in what you're passionate about, still talk passionately about it to them anyway on a date, because it will show them that you're a passionate person and that you care about things.
Yeah.
And that is a very desirable quality.
If they can't be vulnerable around me, I'm not expecting them to be vulnerable in the very first conversation that we have.
I feel like I have to stick up for guys here a little bit, specifically because the reason men aren't vulnerable is because they're not allowed to be. Most guys don't dare to, specifically because they've been hurt in the past again and again and again and again. When you open up to women, quite often what happens is you open up and then in an argument a month later, that'll get thrown back at you. They've probably had bad experiences, and this is why they're not going to be vulnerable with you early.
Hygiene. If they have poor hygiene, I don't really think I can stick to them for a longer period of time. If you're smelly, take a shower. The other one is again if they have daddy or mommy issues, because it will reflect on your relationship as well. It will eventually come to you. They're going to be a problem in your life.
Sorry. That wasn't, that's just my stomach making a weird noise.
That's all our red flags.
There are probably one or two other ones, but those are the important ones anyway that we could think of thinking about it.
So,
bye.
Bye.